Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So today I'm going to talk about my first wholesale deal I did back in 1984. Made $20,000. Listen, the possibilities are endless for making money in real estate, and wholesaling is it's just one of 100 ways of making money. It's not the best way, but it's a good alternative. It's a way to at least get some money out of a deal, rather than if you can't afford to buy it. Those of you just getting here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You'll learn a lot here. I've been investing for like 43 years, made tens of millions of dollars doing it. I've had a fantastic lifestyle starting at 19 years old. Anyways, so let's jump over to Google Earth. So I bought a lot of properties in my lifetime, but this one in particular, let me go to the hardware store. I always like to show all the properties that I've actually purchased. And all these dots represent ones that I have purchased or made a wholesale deal way back in the day. Wholesaling is what you do if you can't afford to close it yourself. Okay, much more money in buying and resell. But so in this case, right here, this is a hardware store. I actually was in business here. I had a cabinet shop over here, and these guys went out of business. So this was a hardware store. This is in Lancaster, California, on Yucca Avenue. The way I found out about this deal was simply I went to the hardware store and they were closed. They didn't have anything. They were closed up. And so I started asking and said, "Oh no, they went bankrupt." They went bankrupt. That's interesting. So I'm like, how do I get a hold of these people? How can I figure out how to buy this thing, right? I was only 22 years old back in 1984, but I'd already done several real estate deals and I was kind of well on my way. So I took the extra efforts to find these people, talked to the neighbors. I talked to other people that I knew them. There was actually a carpet store down the street here, and I talked to that guy. And I think it might have been him that told me, Pelotano maybe, it was his name. And I think he told me that he said, nah, they went belly up. And then talking to somebody that he, referred me to, I found out that these guys were living basically in a travel trailer way out in the desert, out in a place called Del Sur. So I'm going to show you the efforts that I went to. Yeah, here it is. See out here? Look at Del Sur. So out here, I found out that they were staying in a travel trailer. And believe me, this took, probably a week for me to get a hold of or find out somebody that kind of knew and got this clue. You got to be a detective sometimes. But you can make a lot of money if you act like a detective when you're trying to search down the people that own properties. And that's some of the stuff you'll learn about in my mentorship if you get in my mentorship. Anyways, I go out here to Del Sur, and sure enough, found the travel trailer where they were living. I remember seeing the old well that they were pulling their water from. It was an electric well and all, but somebody was building a home out there. So I get out there, talk to them, and they said, "Yeah, Tom, we're done. We're done." Well, what I found out is that they had owner financing in place. The people that had sold them, God, I remember they were a big name, but they had owned a lot of property. So they said, "Tom, you can have it." Well, I said, "We'll take whatever you can get us." And I said, "Okay, how about I give you $5,000?" I think it was $5,000, maybe just a little bit more than that. And they said, "Okay." They said, "That sounds good." So I put that in the contract. When I I got a hold of the people that they owed the money to, and I made the deal to buy the property from them. Actually, I was buying it from him, but they were getting paid off, and I added $5,000 so that he would get his piece. And now, next problem was I'm 22 years old and I don't have any credit. I don't have any money, none to speak of. I didn't have enough to close this deal. This was going to be $170,000 in total, and I didn't have the money. So what did I do? I went to my old boss. I said, my old boss, he had money, he employed people. And so I'll show you where he was too. So it was back here, 10th Street West. So if you go out here to 10th Street West, you'll see all these metal buildings out here. There was John Brooks. I really appreciate that guy. Such a great man. He helped so many people, so many builders. He actually rented some space to me, but he owned most of these buildings out here, these metal buildings. He built them. He actually had his business was actually metal building construction. In fact, this might be my old cabinet shop. Yeah, I think he gave me a little bin in here that I rented from in the beginning when I was a self-employed cabinet guy. Long story short, John, who was out here, who was a big builder, he had a huge shop out here. He's long been dead now, but he had a big, beautiful building and shop, and there was guys that were working wrought iron for slabs and different things, and other people cutting steel, I-beams and stuff. Had a big shop out here. It's called Ashland. So I got a hold of John, and I said, John, come on out here. You got to come see what I got. So John, nice guy that he was, and also an entrepreneur, he, thought he smelled some money here when I told him what I had. And so he came, and he met me over there at the hardware store. We'll go back over to the hardware store. And I remember we had just walked around the building, and we came around to the back. In fact, this has been added on. Some of this has been added on. That wasn't there 35 years ago when I made this deal. But we were standing right about here in the alley. I said, Uncle John, well, what do you think? I got it. We can buy it for 170. I think we can sell it for, 220, something like that. Make 50 grand. And he says, hey, Tommy, he said, this is a good deal. He said, but I don't want a partner. And I was kind of like, what? And he says, he goes, how about I buy it and I just give you a check for $20,000? And I was like, that's a fantastic idea, John. And so that's my first wholesale deal right there 35 years ago, or maybe a little more, like 1984. I guess it's about 40 years ago now to think about it. So, listen, you can make a fortune in real estate. And even if you're starting out and you don't have any money, you can still make a fortune in real estate. Look, wholesaling is very tough. And there's a way to do it right, okay? And most people don't do it right. But figure making 20 grand then is like making 60 grand today. And those are the kind of wholesale deals that you want to do if you're going to do a wholesale deal. But the main thing is get in between what somebody has and with what somebody wants. And that's where the money is. So anyways, that's my first wholesale deal. Hey, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You tune in here long enough, look at some of the videos and get in one of my webinars, get in my mentorship if you can. But number one, get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. It's a great place to start for 10 or 20 bucks. And then from there, you can get into the mentorship. So look, all these students you see here, these are all new students of mine. Some have made, a couple $1 million on a single deal, others tens of thousands, others hundreds of thousands. I've only been mentoring for about 3 years. I've spent my life investing in real estate, and now I'm investing in people that are interested in learning about real estate. And there's just nothing like it. I've got young and old and in between, making, like I say, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. You just need a little bit of guidance, and that's what you get in the mentorship. And you can be like all these people you see. Watch these videos. Go to flipanythingusa.com. Be sure to get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. As well, you want to get into one of my webinars. You'll be able to see me face to face. I will show you how I made my first million in the 80s. Now I've made tens of millions of dollars since. Show you how I did it. I'll show you the actual assets that I purchased. And then fill out the mentorship survey. In fact, just do all three right now. And, if you fill out that mentorship survey, I may text you to say, hey, do you want to have a call? Nobody's going to pester you. I don't have salesmen. And you will be surprised at what might be sitting right under your nose. You might be sitting on $1 million. You might be staring at $1 million and you don't even know it. So it's very important that you learn about opportunities and where they are. A lot of people I'm telling you, they walk around blind. They don't see it. But that's what I show you. And I'll tell you, changing lives all over the country here. People that are, have wife and kids and are seeing a future now. They're seeing a way to get to retirement, a way to get to putting the kids all through school and getting all that done maybe a little bit earlier than they had previously thought was possible. Anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. You want to learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate? I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, flipanythingusa.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face to face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years.